You talked about again building automations in C sharp. I think it was C sharp.
Yes,
And like, how did we get there?
sure.
It's
So, um,
that seems very. I don't even know how to ask the question.
yeah. So basically, what happened is I was playing with Home Assistant for some time, and I knew it was built on Python, and I very quickly discovered what was called AppDaemon, where you can run
Yep.
Python scripts sort of
Yeah.
alongside. I don't know Python very well, so I started tinkering with that. And my background at the time was I was like a lead QA engineer, so testing to me was very important in my world. And I was thinking like, oh, how do I test my automations without actually waiting for a trigger or checking did the light turn on? And coming from a testing background where you can have mocks and fakes, where you can have code that looks like the real code but it's not, I was looking for something like that, and I started looking at AppDaemon to see can I use that to do it, and there just wasn't really a nice ecosystem to do that in that space there. So while looking for that, I didn't find anything, and I kind of just forgot about it for about 6 months. And honestly, I can't remember how I found it, but then one day I found something called NetDaemon, which is a port of AppDaemon but for .NET, and I was a .NET developer at the time. And I'm like, wow, this is awesome because now I can use
It's
all the
cool.
testing tools, everything I know works with this new automations framework. And basically, what NetDaemon does is they connect to the WebSocket, and you can create C sharp observable automations based on every sensor is basically a observable item, and you subscribe, and it's a C sharp code. So I today don't have any automations in Home Assistant. They're all built in C sharp, and I've got a few dozen like unit tests wrapped around my lines automations and discipline stuff, and I can run those things before I deploy, making sure I haven't broken anything. And I think using something like C sharp just gives you so much more capability and flexibility to do things, which you're going to really struggle with YAML, where you can use generics and config and other things that you can't just easily do inside YAML.
Well, you're coding instead of configuring, right? I
Yes.
think that's the delineation there.
Yeah.
How does that work then? So you haven't got any, well, most automations are done out of Home Assistant now. Does that make debugging things harder? Like how if you need to go back and see why did that automation get triggered? Like,
Not really. So when it connects into Home Assistant, you can use or you create its own username or like the long-lived
Yeah.
tokens.
Yeah.
So when it connects, I know it was NetDaemon that performed that action. And then I've got my own logs as well, where I can see in NetDaemon sort of what happened at the time if I need to debug that. And again, I think because of that, I can probably have much more granular debugging because I can add any sense I want into my logs and any other information I want. So instead of trying to look at all the different places in Home Assistant to get that information, I can get that in a single line. So, for example, like the home alarm thing, it prints me a line to say check, 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 check for each thing that it's checking, and I can just see that instead of needing to go look at all the sensors or creating template sensors or something to do that. So it's not too bad.
mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool. And are you then now versioning, controlling the your C sharp code or .NET code?
Yeah, so it just goes into GitHub, and
Yep.
then I just release it for my machine. So I just do a build and deploy and restart the container, and off it goes.
Away it goes. Yeah. Do you find any latency issues between having it now a separate container doing the automation logic as opposed to Home Assistant?
No, surprisingly not. That was always a concern because the first thing I did was lights, and I mean lights, as you've seen many times. If you walk into a room, you want it to be on as you walk in.
Yeah.
Um, and I've had no latency issues at all. And this was when I was still running this on like a Raspberry Pi 3 as a like a .NET container, and I expected at that time that maybe be slow, but it copes really well. And with every release of .NET, they do so much performance improvements on the underlying
Mm,
framework that it just gets faster and faster. So yeah, no issues.
that is fantastic. I think you're like maybe the first guest we've had that's doing it in .NET as opposed to YAML or Python.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And
that's one of the reasons I wanted to like speak to you guys, because I think there's so many people probably out there. Like, there's another podcast I listen to called .NET Rocks, and I know the one host Richard. He's been in .NET for all his life, basically, and
Yeah.
he uses Home Assistant. I don't know if he knows this exists, because I know he says he's doing more Python than he likes.
yep.
So yeah, maybe people just don't know about
Yeah.
things like this, and I thought, if I shameless plug, but it's a great open source project, and yeah,